Okay. Om Narayanah Paro Vyaktat Andamavyayasambhavam Andasyantastvime Lokaha Saptadvipa Chamedini Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now, we have been looking at a very interesting and extremely important segment in the third chapter about karma. Karma, the connection between the following elements. Karma, action. And what does action lead to? Karma phala, result of action, naturally. So there is already a connection. We don't need to even think about the connection because it's a no-brainer. Between karma and karma phala, there is a connection. This is very dim. We have these lights on, I think. So, between karma and karma phala, there is a connection. And that is something which we don't need to think about. Because when I do action, what happens? When I do action, what happens? Whether I like it or not, there are what? Results of action. This is one connection. But then the karma, the action doesn't happen on its own, does it? There are many, many things in the performance of karma that are involved. This all we have seen, this is just a recap. All right? Yeah. So, what are the connections between, what are the other things, factors in the action? There has to be somebody who says, I am the actor, who owns up the action. Correct? So that is one thing. So between the actor and the action and the results of action, there is an important connection, namely agency, the notion of agency. Because what makes an action is the presence of the agent, the actor. That's what everybody will argue, except in Vedanta class, where everything is topsy-turvy. So actor is there, action is there. What else is needed? Instruments of action are needed. With the mind, I do these things. With the hands, I do these things. So the hands, the antakarana, the mind, etc., all of them become factors in action. Factors in action means what? The instruments of action. So they all become instruments of action. And then therefore, we have this whole assemblage. In executing the action, there is an assemblage of mind, body, intention, ego, ahankara, and action itself, and the notion that I am an agent. Agency is there, and the results of action which accrue to the agent of action, and transforming the agent of action into the recipient of action, bhokta. All these, look at all these things. Who would have thought that there is a PhD thesis setting where the action is concerned, the connection between the action and the results of action are concerned. Who knew that there were all these things? But we take these for granted. We take these for granted because they are very subtle. Nobody is listening to this. Nobody is thinking about this. Why? Because the wants are jumping. Yeah. Like, what is that? You whack something, there is this. Whack mole. Yeah. Not mole as in mole, on the face or body. No. Mole means what? The animal which appears from underground. This is not real, don't worry. It is a game for children, Little plastic molds will be there, and then a hammer is provided, and then they will randomly appear, and then what? You whack them. Yes. And I suppose how many ever you whack, you get a reward. But here, in the molds here stand for objects of desire. And the success in the worldly way is described as how many ever objects of desire you quote unquote conquer. That is the definition of your how successful you are. You think of all the rich people, okay? Yeah, try not to think of the richest one, but other than that, think of the rich people and then see what is, like lifestyles of the rich and famous and all these things. Why are we so, as a collective, obsessed about their lifestyles? Why do we want to know what they do, what they eat, how do they move about? Because we see them as successful. Why do we see them as successful? Because they have been able to, more than us, fulfill their ragadveshas. That is why they are considered successful. In other words, they have been able to whack many moles. Okay? And this is their definition of success. Now, coming to our Bhagavad Gita, we have to do a Shirshasana, headstand. Yeah. The way to get ahead here is to do a headstand. Stand this on its head. Stand this argument. What is the argument? The more ragadveshas I can fulfill, the more successful I am. We stand this on the head. Then what does the argument look like? The more preferences and prejudices I can master, the more successful I am. That is the Bhagavad Gita's definition of success. The more desires I'm able to master, meaning what? They are not in the driver's seat. They are not driving me insane. I am in the driver's seat. I am the master of the desires. They don't master me and take me for a ride. I can take them for a ride or not take them for a ride. I am in charge. This is the teaching. So it's not how many desires I'm able to fulfill that defines my success in my life. It is how many desires I'm able to let go of that defines my success in this life. This is a very drastic thing. And then so that requires a certain asangatvam. Asangatvam doesn't mean detachment, because if we define asangatvam as detachment, then we have a problem of dissociation, because we assume that the Atma, the Atman, the I, the self, which is not at all attached to anything, is attached. This is a very subtle connection we have to avoid. So therefore, we don't use the word detachment other than for, railway compartments and things like that. So we use the word asangatvam, uninvolvement. So it means we have seen this already, this is again a recap, getting into the place of the observer from an uninvolved standpoint. So the ragadveshas arise with the certainty of sunrise. They also rise every morning. As soon as you wake up, the ragadveshas stretch and the preferences says, where is my coffee? That's what the preferences demand. They too wake up with you. As sure as the sun is to rise, the ragadveshas also rise. And then what does the person of discrimination do? Watch them. Watch them. This was already told in chapter 2. Matra sparshastu kaunteya. Shitoshna sukha dukkhadaha. Agamapayino nityaha. Tan titikshasva bharata. Titikshasva. You just endure. You watch them. You watch them without getting involved. You say, aha, here is a desire rising up. Good morning to you too. All right, no problem. You're here. That doesn't mean I'm going to get into the car with you, especially if you are driving, because I feel slightly sick afterwards. I have seen that. Whenever I go for a spin with you, your driving habits are dangerous. And then after that, I have that, what is that? I look like that green emoji, slightly sick, about to throw up. And I don't want to go for a spin with you. No, but I can't be without you. Okay, you come for a spin with me. Oh, but you're so boring. You follow all the laws and you stop where you need to stop, and there's no excitement driving with you. Okay, then don't come with me. Simple. So, this is the uninvolvement. This is the observing the raga as it rises up, and then what else? Observing the dvesha, observing the prejudices, the preferences as they rise up, and just say, I am Atma, I am uninvolved, I am just the observer. And then what? Then I find that there is some kind of a ownership of the mind, and there is an ownership of the organs of action and the sense organs together. There is an ownership, meaning that I have a vested interest. So if I participate in something, let's say I am taking the desire for a drive, it is not in the driver's seat. I just say, okay, this is a good desire to fulfill today. Let me have this today. When I go about doing this, I find that the organs of actions are involved. Let's say I want a coffee. The coffee doesn't want me. I want the coffee. Okay, yeah. So then I say I'll go to cafe. So that involves what? I have to get into the car or I have to walk. So it involves hands and legs. It involves a yana, a vehicle. It involves a decision. Okay, I'm going to go here. It involves the mind. Therefore, because the decision means who is making the decision? The mind, the buddhi is making the decision. So all that is involved, and then I go to the cafe and have the coffee and then come back. Now this act can be done in two ways, said the Bhagavad Gita up till now, said Lord Krishna. One way is from the standpoint of the one who is attached to being the agent of action. I am the driver, I am driving, I am having the coffee. Coffee is the object of my enjoyment, and now I have, from the agent, I have become the enjoyer and the experiencer. And so this way, I keep morphing into various roles and identifications where the Atma, the nature, the essential nature of the I is totally free from those very identifications. So that is one way of doing, and then that person was described as Vimudhatma, the one who is deluded with regard to the functioning of the body, mind, sense complex and the functioning of the ahankara, the ego, etc. And then, so that is one way of performing the action which most people in the world resort to because they do not have, unfortunately, alas, Vedanta in their lives. So without Vedanta, I become a mess of tears and a ball of fears. This is what happens when I identify as the actor, when I identify with the sense organs, with the mind, with the organs of action, etc., 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 etc. That is one way of doing things which most of the world is how they are doing. What else will they do? They don't know any better. But then we sitting here, we know better. Why? Because we've had 3.5 chapters yeah, so far. Oh, but that was a long time ago. I don't remember anything. It doesn't matter. It's still gone in. It is still gone in. It will come out. It will come out when you need it. It has gone in. No more saying I have become distanced from Vedanta. You cannot. Why? Because Vedanta is you. You may say, I'm not immersing in it as much. That's a different thing. And if that's the case, then just come and attend the classes again. That's all. Simple. It's easier than riding what is that called? Bicycle. Yes. It's much easier than that. It's a no-brainer. Why? Because it's you. It's already you. It is Siddha Vastu. Moksha is yours, it is you, and then it is not Sadhya Vastu, it is not something, yet one more thing to be accomplished in the universe, for which you have to plan and take out time and all these things. No, it's already you. It's a discovery of you that is already free, that is already self-existent, self-evident. And that is what Vedanta is. So one way of doing this we already saw, from a place of no discrimination, whereas the other way of doing it, few people who know have the sense of discrimination. I am not any of this. This is all happening. My hands are involved, yes, but are they really my hands? My senses are involved. Are they really my senses? You can say they are my senses, they belong to this body-mind-sense complex. You can say that, but then that is said with an understanding. There is already a cognitive shift over there. And that cognitive shift means I am gunaha guneshu vartante. Gunaha means the sense objects and the sense organs. Guneshu, the second guna means the sense organs and the sense objects. One guna is sense organs, one guna is sense objects. Gunaha guneshu vartante iti matva saha na sajjate. The person of wisdom, sajj to get involved in, that's the word sangha and asanga comes from. So na sajjate, does not get involved as the I am the actor. I am the sense organs, I am the actor, I am the mind, I am the buddhi. This wrong identification is not there. And so how do I see it? Well, if the sense organs I look upon as dispassionate reporters, that's what they are. Some nice aroma comes. Aha! Pakodas frying somewhere on a nice rainy day. Okay. That's all it is. So the olfactory nerves went with a little pencil behind their head and they reported. They said, aha, this is what, because that's their job. They are researchers. What do they research into? They research into what is the nature of the smell. Similarly, the eyes go and report. Big gulab jamuns ahead. They report. They are here, But then we don't have the relationship to our sense organs as reporters, do we? No, we take them, we identify with them. We don't see them as reporters that we have hired to go and bring us information. And we don't see that it's optional whether to follow the information they bring or not. It's optional, we don't see. We think, oh, pakodas ahead. That means what? I have to go there. So gunaha guneshu vartante means I notice that there is a natural connection between the sense organs and the sense objects. What is that? One is the revealer, the other is what? Revealed. There is a pratipadaka pratipadya sambandha. There is a revealer-revealed relationship between the sense organs and the sense objects, and I am what? Neither the sense organs, nor the sense object, nor the agent of the sense organs, nor the object. I'm not connected to, nor the enjoyer of the objects. I'm not connected in any way. This is just a natural prakriti. The connection is belonging to prakriti, means it is Ishvara Srishti. It is not Jiva Srishti. The world is made in such a way that there are objects of enjoyment, and then those objects of enjoyment, what use are they if they are not cognized as objects of enjoyment? No use at all. That's why there are eyes, there are ears, there are, nostrils to say this is what it is. But just because it says this is what it is, the I want doesn't have to come. I am this much doesn't have to come. This is me doesn't have to come. This separation, or this kind of a, what's that called? This kind of a space, this kind of an inner space is very important to cultivate. This is what is talked about. Let us go further. Bhashya. let us see here. So Gunaha Guneshu, verse 28 we finished. Bhashya also is finished. Now we go. Ye punaha, further, what is said, verse 29. Prakriter gunasammudhaha sajjante gunakarmasu Tana kritsna vido mandan kritsna vinna vichalayet Prakritehe. So let's look at the translation first. So Prakritehe means of the Prakriti. Prakritehe gunasammudhaha means Prakritehe gunaihi mudhaha, samyak mudhaha. So those that are mudhaha means those that are fooled. Mudha means fool. Here mudhaha means those that are fooled, those that are not understanding properly what? This connection that we just talked about between between the senses and their sense organs, between the objects, the sense organs and the sense objects. That connection, those who don't understand. That's why I spent some time explaining this to bridge it to this verse. There are most of the people who don't understand this connection. What is the connection? It is born of Prakriti. It is Ishvara Srishti. It is not Jiva Srishti. I didn't make this connection. I didn't tell the nose to say, okay, where are the pakodas? Be a pakoda scout. I didn't tell it to do that. I didn't make my nose. I didn't make the olfactory nerves. Who made the olfactory nerves? Bhagavan. Ishvara made the eyes. Ishvara made the ears. And so, therefore, I can't take credit for that. There is no identification with that either. But most people not knowing this, gunasammudhaha, prakritehe gunasammudhaha. So they are deluded, they are fooled by this very subtle connection which they don't recognize. As a result, what happens? Sajjante. Sajjante means they get completely velcroed. Sajjante. Sajj means to velcro, stick. Sajjante, they get completely stuck. Like super glue, they are stuck. To what are they stuck? Guna and karma. Between the objects and their own action, they are stuck. They see a kind of an invariable connection and they see themselves in that connection. They identify with the connection. They identify as the agent. They identify as the agent of the one who is seeing, as the seer and as the wanter and as the doer and finally as the experience of the results of action, which are always rotten. Okay, that's why it's called karma phala. Phala means fruit. Phalgutaya liyate, that which rots like even the fruit kept on the ledge on the counter for too long. That's what karma phala is. It reeks, okay, because as a result of actions, they are not stable. They are unstable, short-lived, and yet there is so much desire for that. And then what happens? So not only do I get hooked on to the karma phala, I become a karma phala holic. Not only that, then I want to make the karma phala last longer and longer and longer. I went to an expo. Where was that? Some conference, what is it called? Bioneers conference happens every year in California. So one time they invited me and I went, and then they had all these different what is that called? Booths with exhibition with various things that had just come into the market. This was a while back. So then in what looked like a very innocuous glass case with a lid on it, there were some bananas. And then I said, so what's the big deal about this? Some bananas. But then I noticed that the glass case was plugged into some outlet. I said, what is it doing? They said, guess how old these bananas are? I said, maybe 2-3 days. I don't know when you bought. No, they said it is 6 weeks old and it keeps it fresh somehow, and it draws out the carbon dioxide and infuses it with nitrogen, and a 6-week-old banana. You can't even imagine, 6-week-old banana, the bar becomes silent. It's only nana, I don't want it. That is what it is. Yeah. But this 6-week-old banana was looking so fresh. Would you like to have one? I said, no, thank you. So here is, from there I got this idea. Just now I thought of it. What was the idea? Just like that which is going to rot naturally and quickly, we try to extend it. Much like this device, I forget what it's called, fruit fresher or something like that. It is called fruit refresher, whatever it's called. And that time they were just trying to get a patent, and now I hear it is all over the place. And I met it again in Arshavidya. After a few years, I met it in Arshavidya, Sailorsburg. Yes, I don't know where it is now, but I met it there, yes. So you can keep up to, I think, 50 bananas there, at that many, like 3-4 dozens you can keep, and then it will keep fresh. Not just bananas, mangoes and oranges, whatever you want. And it'll keep fresh for 5-6 weeks, no problem at all. And then, so here we also, what does the average human being wants to extend the karma phala over and above and beyond the time for it to elapse. So what a total waste of time. That which is going to die anyway, that which is already dead, really speaking, I try to prop it up. I try to extend this. I try to prop it up all the time and extend the lifespan of that which is going to die anyway. And what is it that's going to die? The results of action. But then what do I feel? I have worked so hard. I have to elongate it. So therefore, the whole life goes keeping the karma phalas on life support, CPU. Yes. Clear, shock, clear, shock. This is what it is. It comes back to life, and then little more time the heart beats. But what is that? It's dead. It's DOA, dead on arrival, really. But we don't see that. The whole life, so much energy. Imagine if that energy could be conserved. What would we be doing? How much more the world would be a better place, because so many creative ideas would come if I was not so consumed by my own little karma phala connection that I have going on here. So many ideas would come. But no, here the person is obsessed with the karta, bhokta, kartritvam, doership, and then the sense organs which are mistakenly identified as oneself, and then the sense objects which are also mistakenly identified as oneself, and as a result, grivati. Grivati means grieves. So, shochati, grivati. And then what? So, sajjante gunakarmasu. Gunakarmasu means that the one who thinks I am the karta, that is the one. Okay, so this is most of the people in the world. We have already seen. And then there are a few of us who've been studying Vedanta. Now, $1 million question. What is that? How should we, who are in the process of knowing this, relate to the masses? That is what this whole section is about. This is where the rub is. I am Vedantin, you are Vedanta out. That's not going to do. So I have an aloofness, I'm just better than everybody else. And this is a problem, just between us. This is a problem in the Vedantic circles. I don't feel anything at all. Why? Because I have no feelings. Why? Because, gunaha guneshu vartante iti matva na sajjate. I don't have any feelings. You don't have any feelings? No, I don't have any problems. Oh, but you're walking with a limp. No, I'm fine. So there is a sense of denial. Not only is there a sense of denial about, there could be, I'm not saying there is, but there could be a tendency to have a sense of denial. And then the part B of this tendency is to look upon the world of the Vedantouts as what? It's a total waste of time. Why were you born even? Yeah, because you don't know this, you don't even know this much, and you're suffering. Oh dear, it's too bad. Or I have become a preacher. I become a Vedanta preacher to anything that I set my eyes on. You are so ensconced in karma. All the time you're doing. Stop doing. No, but I want money to because we have ambitions. I have ambitions. My family has ambitions. I want money to fulfill these ambitions. No, money is not the cause of moksha. Don't you know that? What will you get with money? Just a big headache. No moksha. No money, yes moksha. Money, no moksha. You'll just be distracted by all these things. Don't go after money. You should tell them that. See, first of all, they don't know the truth of this. And then you tell them not to make money. What will happen? They will become lazy. Naturally. They'll come to you for money. Okay, then you will understand that you should have not told this. Who else will they go to? The one who told them not to work, they will go there. Study Vedanta. They are still getting ready. They're not mentally prepared. They're not emotionally mature. They're still acquiring that maturity. And then the work of the Vedantin, the duty of the one who knows, is not to share the knowledge with people who are not ready for this yet. This is what is the summation of this verse. Okay, so tan akritsna vidaha. Akritsna vidaha means they don't know the Atma. Kritsnam means everything. So kritsnavit means the one who knows everything. Since the Atma is everything, the one who knows everything is also what? Everything. The one who knows Atma is everything. And so therefore, akritsnavit, the one who doesn't know the Atma, mandhan, people who are dulled in their viveka. This is not a pejorative, what's the word for it? It's not an insult. It is just that right now, this is how it is. They are not very aware. It's like saying, ignorance of ignorance is bliss. That's where they are at. They don't even know that there is a problem, but yet they suffer. They don't know why they are suffering, but they are not able to make this connection yet. Either you teach them, but then they are not ready for the teaching, so you don't disturb their lifestyle. You don't tell them, don't work, come to classes. And what do they do in the class? As soon as Sahana Vavatu, the opening mantra, is said, they take it as a lullaby. And Purnamadav Purnamidam is a wake-up call. They wake up and get up and go because there is no interest. Why is there no interest? Because that emotional maturity is what brings the interest for Vedanta. If there is no emotional maturity, I will not be able to sit in the class, much less enjoy it. That is what it is. So 9/10 of Vedanta is preparing oneself, and 1/10 is the understanding really. And so here, akritsna vidaha, akritsna vidan mandan. So for these people who don't have this connection between karma and karma phala being finite, they don't know that, they are still plugging the karma phala into an outlet, trying to keep it fresh and doing little CPU on every single object of desire that is about to go away. They are trying to keep it going. Don't try to dissuade them. Don't try to say, come to Vedanta, leave everything, because they are not ready. And if you do that, it is a papa karma. It is papa because you have extricated them from what they know. And then you're plunging them into this kind of a confusion. So this is not okay, because they are neither ready for this, nor are they ready to give up that or take up this. So don't put them in this kind of a quandary. Who? The kritsnavit. So, tan akritsna vidaha mandan akritsnavit, the one who knows the Atma, the wise person, na vichalayet. Don't shake them up. Don't do that. This is the sum of the translation, Bhashya. Prakritehe gunaihi samyak मूढ़ाः सम्मोहिताः सन्तः सज्जन्ते गुणानां कर्मसु गुणकर्मसु. So basically what we have said, prakritehe gunaihi, so the nature born gunas, qualities, like what, the objects, sense organs, organs of actions, etc. Then karmasu, and then the action itself. So they make a connection. They don't see that it is an option to not be involved in this natural connection between the karma phala, sense organs, etc. But they attach themselves and they become involved in the functions, the sense organs, the sense objects, the mind, etc. And then what do they think? Adi Shankara helpfully points it out in the first person. Vayam karma kurmaha. We are the ones performing the action. Vayam, we. Who did this? Me. We did this. Why? Phalaya. For the sake of the results of action. Nobody does karma just for that, for the sake of karma. It's for the sake of results of action that I have performed the action. Iti matva. This is how I think. So, this is how the person thinks. And then, vayam karma kurmaha. Why kurmaha? Why do you do this? Phalaya. Because I want something. And they are very clear about what they want. I want a promotion. And then I want my children to pass all their exams. And then what? Not just pass, excel in all their exams. I want a house. You already have a house. No, cancel that. I want a bigger house. I want a better house. And then, okay, now you have a better house. What do you want? I want an even bigger house. All right, now that you got it, what do you want? It's too much to take care of. I want to downsize because I can't vacuum everything. I have shoulder, repetitive stress injury. So I want to sell this. This is how everything happens, especially if you see the immigrant lifestyle. So the immigrants from India, I'm the most familiar with. So they first come and they are staying in a room of their friends or relatives because that's all they have. They come with two suitcases each person and they stay in the house of some relatives. And then after that, what? Then they rent one apartment. Then they save enough to buy one. From the apartment they move into townhouse or condo. And then from the condo, then dream house. And then even bigger dream house, because by the time the children are married and the grandparents to be, we don't know whether the grandchildren will be there or not. But the grandparents to be have this fantasy that they will come frequently. And so not only should there be rooms for the children, there should be rooms for the potential grandchildren to gambol, frolic and play. All right. And then what? Then now the house has many, many rooms. I was in one such house in Pittsburgh. And then I got lost. In the morning I had a class. I had to go to the temple. They were going to take me to the temple. It was impossible to get out. I mean, I came out of the bedroom and then there was it opened into another room, like a little suite, and then another room and another room and another room. Afterwards, it was not that sweet because I was lost. Then fortunately I saw one white courtesy telephone hanging on the wall. It was an intercom. And the cook answered the phone, cook from India. And so thankfully I was able to speak Hindi and say, please come here and get me out of this maze. Amazing, really. And so then I joined the hosts for breakfast because after that we were supposed to go to the place. And they were unfazed. They said, oh, it happens to all our guests. That's why we have put the phones. Because there were 3 staircases in this blessed house. One in the middle, one on either side, and then there was also a hidden elevator somewhere. And anyway, so then the point of this is this. Then when I was sitting at breakfast, they say, this house is too big. We are getting older. And we want to downsize. I said, where will you go? What will you do? We are thinking of a townhouse, a condo. Then after condo, what? I think I'm just going to rent an apartment because what's the point of owning? Let's sell this because the market is going to crash. Before it crashes, let me sell. And then one is in an apartment. After apartment, what? One room. That's all. That's all it is. You started out how? One room. And then you end up how? One room. Immigrant experience. Okay? Yeah. So this is the life cycle of the wants. Not of the person, because the person is not the wants. We are talking of the personality. This is the life cycle of these blessed wants, and then the more I give into it and the more I'm unable to see the connection, I'm always working for something or the other. There's always something in the horizon. That's why it's called event horizon. So there is an event at the horizon, some event that I want, some event that I want to happen in my life. And so such people, you don't say, what will you do with a big house? You will end up in a room anyway. You don't say that to them because they will get depressed and they will make you also depressed afterwards. I don't want to get into how, but you can imagine. And so you have to encourage them to continue because they are not able to listen to what you have to say. So this way, the wise person keeps their counsel to themselves unless somebody comes and asks. So tan karma sanginaha, people who are devoted to and attached or addicted to action, akritsna vidaha, people who do not know the Atma, karma phala matra darshinaha. Karma phala matra darshinaha means who have their sight set on the karma phala, nothing else. They have single-mindedness of vision. Oh, they have Vedanta. No, they are completely honed into what? Karma phala, where are you? Where is my destination? Moksha? No, moksha. That's all. Where will I get my next thing? This is what my next fix. Where will I get? That is the focus. Like the horse with the blinkers. It doesn't look this side, it doesn't look that side. The whole focus is on what I want. For such people, who else? The Manda Pragyan means whose Viveka, the muscle called Viveka, discrimination is not yet developed. They haven't gone to the Vedanta gym of Shama, Dhamma, Titiksha, Uparati, etc. They haven't done that, so therefore their Viveka is weak. Kritsna Vidaha means Atma Vidaha. Atma Vidaha, the people who know the Atma, Swayam, by themselves, do not disturb. Do not disturb. And Adi Shankara, concluding this verse, he brings us back to verse 21, of which this section is. So he says, Buddhi Bheda Karanam Eva Chalanam. Because verse 21 of this said what? Na Buddhi Bhedam Janayet Ajnanam Karma Sanginam Joshayet Sarva Karmani. So this what we in fact encourage people to fulfill their dreams. You don't keep dissing their dreams. You don't keep saying these dreams are useless. Otherwise they'll come to you for fixing their dreams. What else will they do? You don't decry and you don't say that. Why? Because Vedanta is all about humility. Think of yourself 10 years back, 5 years back. Where were you? And where are you now? Now, think of how helplessly you were following each and every object of desire. Have some compassion. This is not said, but it is implied. Have some compassion. That's why when the student goes to the teacher and says, please teach me, Adhihi Bhagavo Brahma. Please teach me Brahman. The Adhihi, the word Adhihi is described as in the Shastra, in Adi Shankara's commentary as Madartham Smara. Please remember how you were taught. Please remember how you were when you came to your teacher and how you were taught. Teach me in the same manner. This is why the teaching works. Because the teacher has not dropped down from the sky. The teacher has gone through the same, chalanam. The teacher has gone through the same kind of diffidence, the same kind of problems, the same kinds of situations where at one point the teacher was also attached completely identified with everything that was anatma, the sense organs, the sense objects, etc. The teaching made her or him have that uninvolvement. And so when you see other people in this kind of a situation, what do? You remember yourself. You remember yourself and refrain from passing a judgment. Because there are, but I'm not helping them. Yes, there are other ways to help them. Because this buddhi bhedanam, this restlessness that you don't bring in them. You don't cause disturbance in their motives or and their actions. You don't do that. So then Adi Shankara, introducing the next verse, asks the question. Katham punaha karmani adhikritena ajnena mumukshuna karma kartavyam iti uchyate. Katham punaha. Further, punaha, then again, how should the karma be performed by the ignorant person? Who is only fit for karma? Why are they only fit for karma? Because jnanam is far away. They are not ready for Vedanta. Why are they not ready for Vedanta? Because the raga dveshas are calling. They have come a calling. They are saying yes. That's all they see in front is their own helplessness and their own involvement in their wants and don't wants and their own identification with themselves as the wanter, and that's why they are not able to have that space. And so therefore what? Therefore don't disturb them. Don't disturb their motivations. Don't disturb their pursuits. But then, is there a way I can teach them? What can I teach them? Yes, there is a way to bring them into the knowledge by purifying their motivations, not by questioning their motivation. There's a big difference. Purifying their motivation means welcoming them, inviting them to say, to see the futility of following every single want and don't want. That they'll be able to see. Because how many people are able to fulfill their wants anyway? Whole life goes without being able to fulfill even a single want. So, therefore, what is my duty here as a fledgling Vedantin? The wings have just come in. I'm ready to leave the nest, but not quite. It's cozy here and I'm afraid I'll fall and flop over and be eaten by a predator. This is the thing. And then we have so many ideas are coming, but I will not be distracted. I've made a sankalpa. So then we have here a situation where I can be of use. How? I can tell these people to question the not the wants, but question the connection between fulfilling their wants and what they really want, which is happiness. So I can gently encourage them to see that whatever they want, while it is sound and fine, is not going to lead them to a place of satisfaction, contentment with who they are, is not going to make them any better in terms of being contented human beings. So this is plan one. This is the first point I can do. This is what I can do. Then part two of this is to encourage them to keep doing what they are doing and leave the karma phala in the hands of Ishvara. Make them, in other words, karma yogis rather than karmins. Karmins, people who are in karma. Karma yogis who have made karma into a yoga, into a concerned lifestyle, into a committed lifestyle for self-growth. This is what I can engender this transformation in the people who are obsessively and addictively pursuing the results of action. And then I can engender this transformation, meaning I can make them into mumukshus. I assume they are mumukshus. What's a mumukshu? Seeker of liberation. Seeker of moksha is a mumukshu. And we have seen many times that everyone is a seeker of moksha, except they don't know what is moksha. They confuse moksha for moka, or that's all it is. And so the moksha is superimposed on all kinds of finite objects, events, situation, and people. That's why they grieve. And so, seeing my own situation, how I was before I came into this knowledge, I have great sympathy. I have great empathy for such people. And what do? I gently make them see that just because they got what they want doesn't mean that they are happy. In fact, I don't have to make them see that. They see that. And when they see that, I helpfully point it out at that time. I point it out. And then what? I tell them that there is another way to do action. And what is the other way to perform action? Giving up the results of action, meaning allowing oneself to understand that the results of actions are not in my hands. And we have seen this in the example. I look to the left, I look to the right. Why do I do that? Because I'm about to cross the road. Indian road, okay, yeah. American road, this example won't work. I look to the left, I look to the right, nothing is coming for a change on the Indian road. And then I cross. And then what happens? I become very cross in the process of crossing. Why? Because I did not see what was on the ground. What was on the ground? Banana peel. Yeah. Somebody went into that machine, enjoyed the banana, and put the peel right there. Why? Because they can. That's all. No other reason. And then I slip on the banana peel, and then what? Not very appealing. What happened over here? I controlled all the known variables. I looked to the left and guesstimated how long the traffic will come here, and what is my pace of walking. And yes, there are no problems in the legs, and I can easily go before this car comes. I can easily go before the car from the other side comes. I won't be mowed down by this traffic. All this I did. I estimated everything, confidently jaunted across the street, only to come under the spell of the banana peel. Okay? And so then that means what? It's a hidden variable. The hidden variable is what gets one. It's not that many variables you can control. And in fact, the fight of humanity is to control as many variables as possible. Starting with a thermostat, 72.5. That's the ideal temperature. That's what I want to have it. So like this, starting with the thermostat, our scientific progress means controlling as many variables as possible. That's what is defined as scientific progress. Look at it everywhere. How to make life more easy means what? Control more variables. For every controllable variable, there are at least 3-4 hidden variables. Hidden now, maybe they'll become evident tomorrow, so what? Yes, but still you will be in a rat race, because you will never be able to control all the variables in this huge, vast, uncontrollable Jagat. You won't be able to do that. It's a race against time. Whole generations will die off, the next generations will pick up where the last generation left off, and then the more you know, the more there is to know, the more you control, the more you are controlled. This is how it is. So the hidden variables, we can look at it scientifically and just like that. Okay, these are things we don't yet know and we need to master and we need to know. And for knowing, we need a means of knowledge, and this is what it is. We can look at it that way. But Vedanta offers another way. That which is a hidden variable is a manifestation of the law. What is the law? The karmic law that denies you what you want. That is the law. Your own karma, your own prarabdha, the karma that started with you, denies you what you want. That is the law. And that law is what? Is Ishvara's law. And that is the first step of understanding. I did not make this law. Ishvara's law of giving my own karma back to me, recycling. So, Papa and Punya are recycled gifts of Ishvara, just gift wrapped. Chitragupta, in the form of Ishvara, Chitragupta as Ishvara, puts the finger where you have to put a bow so that it will be tight. Yeah, Ishvara just lends a finger, that's all. Your own karma, and yes, Ishvara decides which karma goes to who, which box goes to who. This is what it is. Hidden. That's also hidden. So the hidden variables, first level of cognition and understanding, they are a gift from Ishvara. Second level, they are a manifestation of Ishvara. They are nothing but Ishvara. This is what I have to understand and take it in that spirit. And so this is what I can also make other people understand. So therefore, the first level of uninvolvement that I can engender in the lives of my loved ones and the people around me is the snapping that invariable connection between karma and karma phala. That I am the producer of the results of action, that is where I can help. And then in this spirit, the next verse tells how the karma, you can't stop the person of ignorance from doing the karma, but you can have an influence, if they trust you, on how they should perform the karma without disturbing what they are pursuing. Mayi sarvani karmani Sanyasya chetasa Nirashir nirmamo bhutva Yudhyasva vigatajvaraha. Yeah. So the whole thing is to bring in Ishvara. This is Lord Krishna talking, that's why there is the first person, Mayi, in me, Sarvani karmani, all the karmas, Sanyasya. Sanyasya means giving up the authorship of the karma, taking sannyasa from the authorship of actions, not from the actions themselves. This is very subtle here. You just see what is its name? The translation here. So, taking a kind of a sannyasa, meaning giving up authorship, not the action itself, giving up the notion I am the author, and then adhyatma chetasa means through this discrimination. And what is the discrimination? I am not yet at the place to say I am not the karta. I don't know, because I am the doer. I can't say I am not the karta. But I am doing it for Ishvara's sake. First level. Doing it for Ishvara's sake, like even a person who is in the employ of a master or somebody, then for the sake of the employer I am doing this. So similarly, in that same way, I do this for Ishvara's sake. Ishvara is not waiting for you to do it for Ishvara's sake, but this is my bhavana, this is my intention, this is my mindset. And then when I do the action from that place, then there is no involvement with the result of action. I become happier because I'm not able to control all the variables. All the variables are Ishvara, known and unknown. I just do it, and then whatever comes I take as prasada. More we'll see. When? What is next week? 15th. No, this class is on Monday.
16th.
Yeah, 16th. Yeah, so more we'll see on the 16th. Yeah, all right. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Yeah, don't go away. If you go away, come back if you are able, because we are having Akhanda Gita part. we are Gita's birthday, Bhagavad Gita's birthday has come early only because I'm leaving. That's the only reason we are celebrating it early, because I want to be part of the celebrations. And so we are going to celebrate the birthday of the Bhagavad Gita. So please join us in about half an hour, 25 minutes. And so we will be chanting each chapter, offering arati after each chapter, and then we'll chant the whole Bhagavad Gita. All right? All the best. Om, Om. So this I'll turn it off, right?
Yes,
yeah, the recording. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Swaminiji. Thank you, Swaminiji.